was big, starring Tom Hanks, directed by Penny Marshall, and our last of course trilogy of no, not our last.
No, second,
baby.
Sorry. I make thumbnails and I'm like already like.
You only get two, Cliff.
Yeah, right. You only get two. We don't like your attitude. You only get two. Penny Marshall, too controversial.
This is Cliff's second movie in his Penny Marshall trilogy. This is Big, starring Tom Hanks, Elizabeth Perkins, and Robert Loggia. Loggia. How is Loggia?
Loggia.
Really?
Yeah.
Robert Loggia.
He's
Loggia.
Walking into this movie, I was like, how many of these people are still alive? Because the guy who's
Not many.
father in Home Alone, he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Loggia's dead, and I thought Elizabeth Perkins had passed away too, but she's actually still alive.
Nah, she's in there, baby.
She's still alive. I looked it up. Another Elizabeth Perkins died, but it wasn't her.
Gotcha.
All right. So after wishing to be made big, a teenage boy wakes the next morning to find himself mysteriously in the body of an adult.
Can we talk about that for a second? So he changes overnight, right? And the mom comes into his room after he runs out. What does he do in his sleep? Because his pajamas are all ripped, but yet his 12-year-old underwear still fits.
Yeah, this was Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. This is a very young, very skinny Tom Hanks. Okay,
he's still much bigger than the child.
Much bigger than a 13-year-old.
Then we're gonna.
He's also bigger than his father.
We're gonna thank Penny Marshall for wisely using the power of suspension of belief to be like, you know what, the undies were enough so he can run.
It's fine. I just noticed that. Did you notice too when he goes back? To go check on things, and the cops are there, and you kind of hear the conversation on what disappeared. Did you see that there was a station wagon police car?
Yes.
Oh,
I was like, wait,
I
what?
didn't. Yeah.
Never seen.
Probably something they pulled off the movie lot. Like, we need a cop car, and I was the only one that was in the movie lot.
Let's grab that.
just slap blah 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 police on the side of it. Nobody will notice.
Cliff, let me know if I'm wrong or right. I was watching some stuff on Big. Steven Spielberg was originally supposed to do this movie, correct?
Apparently.
Yeah, he was originally supposed to do this movie.
Penny Marshall was like the freaking hero. It was like, oh no, it's not gonna work. Penny, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm here, bitches. Let's roll.
The beginning of the movie is just basic. It's just a kid and his friend, and he likes a girl, and he's shorter than the girl. He can't get on the carnival ride.
So embarrassing, right?
So embarrassing. But then he sees the Zoltar machine, puts his little quarter in, and asks to be big. And he makes the quarter go in the mouth both times. What do you got there? Is that a Zoltar?
I got a little mini Zoltar on my birthday last week.
Hold on.
I was saving all week to show you guys.
Hold on.
It's funny because I didn't even know we
make
were
them
watching
big.
the movie. They're bigger.
No pun intended.
Oh, okay. In the name of Jesus.
Oh.
Watch this. Hold on.
Right?
Hear your fortune from Zoltar.
Oh, but it speaks.
Over time, like laziness. It pays off right now. Heed my advice, young one. Relax and enjoy yourself today. You deserve it.
There's it says 7 different things.
It speaks. That's funny. He makes the wish in the Zoltar machine, but it's unplugged.
Right.
That should be your first warning right there.
Or the red eyes that are flashing aren't a key that maybe this is not something you want to mess with.
Yeah. Then he ends up, he goes home. He wakes up the next morning and he's Tom Hanks big, which leads to he cleverly gets himself out of the house without mom knowing.
Yeah.
And he goes to the same park where the Zoltar machine's in, and it's gone.
Yep.
Carnival's gone.
And he comes back home to the moment where I'm like, oh my God, can you imagine being a parent and a grown man runs into your front door talking about, Mom, it's me. Like,
well,
wowzers.
How about when she screams? He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and runs out and wipes his feet off and comes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
My bad.
And when she pulled out that knife, I was like, "Yeah, that's the right reaction
about
right
right.
there. That's about right." And then he ends up leaving, and he goes to the school next. Now, this is something you cannot do nowadays. You cannot get
No.
into the school, but he ends up getting to school, hides in the gym locker, where the supplies are, and his friend Billy, right? It's Billy.
So, yeah,
And Billy freaks out like a kid should because he's like, "Who's this grown dude?" But then he starts singing the "Mama, just
well, actually,
biscuit."
he yells his middle name first.
Yeah,
He kind of looks at him like,
Francis?
Yeah,
yeah. And he convinces Billy that it is him.
right.
One thing I learned about this movie, there is a version of this movie because they filmed the scenes with the kid first, and Tom Hanks studied that and reenacted his scenes
Okay.
by watching what the kid did. Yeah. So I thought that was really, really good. But then they go, this is a they go, he says, "Let's hide out in New York City."
Yeah.
Like, you're hiding out in New York City.
You can't do
Yeah,
that.
but you don't know how
these
far
day
they
and
are
age.
from the city.
Right. But then they get this cheap motel, and
That's one of my
Again, that
favorite
was actually
lines.
fairly realistic for that time. That was sad.
yeah.
That was one of my favorite lines in the whole movie. He's like, "Oh, we'll go to this one." He said, "Why? Come on, Josh. It's religious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause it's Saint James. Come on, Josh. It's religious."
What was it? When me and Kamara was watching shit when they had like the streetwalkers on there and stuff. She's like, I never really seen streetwalker. I was like, actually, there used to be a whole street in New York City
Uh-huh.
with just nothing but adult things. She's like, what? Are you
It was on
kidding
HBO.
me?
You can tell us that
Times
Times
Square.
Square used to be a festival
Yeah.
Yeah.
of porno theaters.
Well, I didn't say Times Square. I thought it was next to it, but I guess it was
Well,
Times
Times
Square.
Square was bad too.
I seen it
Yeah,
on
Times
HBO.
Times Square was still
After dark.
Times Square, but also it was like, oh look, the Disney store. Oh look, 3 porno shops across the
Right
street
next to the Disney store.
and next to the Disney store. There was zero chills, zero.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then along came Giuliani, and all that stuff went away.
Yeah, and he moved everything to the meatpacking district. That's all he did.
Yeah.
Look, I cleaned it up. You moved it.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, so he ends up getting a job.
Because of
At
his
a toy-
childlike personality.
Another retread when he first gets the job too in Lovitz.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Lovitz. He's one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
You're gonna make us all look bad.
He is
Side note,
one
he's
of
still
my
alive,
favorites.
by the way.
I
one-
also love the
one of
that
few
girl
people
over
still
red
alive.
say hello. She's yours. She'll have her legs wrapped around you so tight you won't be able to breathe. Well, I'll stay away from
Yeah,
her.
that's it with her. And the look that he gave him, like,
That's
Right.
it. Look. What was
Oh, when he gets the
Let's see.
paycheck, $187. Yeah, they really screw you, don't
Hey,
they?
screw you. Joseph Michael says there was also originally supposed to be a reveal that it was a djinn in the form of Zoltar that grants the wish, but Penny Marshall said it would just be too weird for the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're probably right.
And again, wise decision on her part. She is like, look, we already get that it's supernatural. We don't need to jam it
Yeah.
down everyone's throat.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, just just it not being plugged in gives you that whole thing. You don't
Uh-huh.
even have to do anything. Kamara says, I figured they just lived in New Jersey. Did they ever say?
It's definitely outskirts of the city.
Yeah. Grumpy G says, I stayed at a hotel on the Jersey side of the bridge once. It was $60 per night or $10 per hour. That was a scary
$10
hotel. Slasher Fred. It's amazing how Tom Hanks' character becomes a designer for a toy company as he later becomes a voice for one of the most famous characters, Woody, from the Toy Story franchise. Yeah.
By the way, he's from Cliffside Park, New Jersey, the character.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, and then because remember he goes to Sea Point Park, New Jersey at the end.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you guys? Let's get some
I
thoughts
also
on this.
love
Your
when
favorites?
it's such a kid thing to do when he gets the check. When they go to the bank, she's like, "How do you want it?" He's like, "Well, 3 dimes, $100 bill, because $100 bill, and then 87 ones, so it looks like a lot of money."
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, was it that easy to cash a check back in the days?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, because they probably had a bank in the building that he worked in, and just drawing off the bank that the check came from. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can still do
Yeah.
it if it's drawn off the bank. You can take it right to that bank.
Yeah.
They have to cash it.
This is late 80s, so yeah. Fraud wasn't like a huge thing.
Did you notice when he makes the wish at the end and she finally catches up with him? She grabs the card and she's looking at it. She's like, "Your wish is granted, but the card's backwards." She never sees the other side. She's looking at the Zardoz side or the Zoltar side.
She's part of it.
Yeah, right.
Let's see here. Sasha Fred also says, if you guys ever watched that underrated movie 13 Going on 30 with Jennifer Garner, that is movie's basically a reversal of this movie, as both movies are coming of age stories. Yeah, there's that one. One of my favorite ones is Vice Versa.
Yeah.
With Fred
Judge
Savage
Reinhold
and Judge
Fred
Reinhold. One of my other favorite ones was 18 Again. With George Burns.
Crazy. I love 18 Again. Not crazy about Vice Versa because that's basically Freaky Friday, and that's not what this is. But 100% giving it to 13 Going on 30 because that is what this is, and we get everyone doing a Thriller dance in that movie too, which is bonus points.
Yes.
And Ruffalo's a good guy in it.
And I'll give you an extra one. I don't know if you guys have watched this, but Dream a Little Dream of Me, with both Corey Feldman and Corey Haim. It's also a movie like that. I thought it was a great movie. All right. So what else? Phil, what are you thinking about this movie?
You know what? There's a lot of like little things that you'll see from that time period through like this whole movie. Like the comic book rack are all like comic books, like Daredevils and stuff. And it's just like little things, like even him at like FAO Schwartz with like all the toys and stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Like he was playing like laser tag, like through the thing, or like a version of laser tag. That kind of make it neat to watch still today. Like even it opened up with like, it wasn't like a real computer game, but it had that classic computer look. Even like
with the floppy disk, or the floppy
with the floppy disk, like before they became like the hard floppy disk, like.
Yeah.
Do you remember the laser tag cartoon?
Yeah.
I think I do.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you I could find the opening theme on YouTube right now.
I'm sure.
Like little things in here, like even like like he buys like a pack of baseball cards.
Yes.
And you know that like he's like he takes the gum and puts it to the side.
Yep. Got it.
But and he got a good card, but they never say what card he got. Because remember, he's looking through it and he goes, and they never tell you which card.
What is his mom? I think his mom, which is I found funny too. I think his mom got him like a special Pete Rose card or something. Like,
I don't remember that. How about he sings a song to her on the phone, and he sings it like a little kid.
Memories of the corner of my mind.
And like even in his wallet, he had like the used piece of gum, and it was on like a Don Mattingly card.
Yeah.
That's a lot of like little things like that from the time period that kind of make it like a pinball machine, like make it like kind of a little bit charming.
Yeah. A lot of stuff.
I was thinking about it this time watching it. You would get away with the fake Social Security number, but for so long. I mean, he's only a big for what 2-3 months, whatever. Come tax time, they would catch that.
Yeah. I just felt that like a lot of the stuff that was shown here that we took granted for when we was a kid. You know, I probably had a lot of stuff that today, if I would have held on to it, it'd probably be worth thousands of dollars. Like what Phil said, a Don Mattingly card or a Pete Rose card, that's probably worth hundreds of dollars right now. You know what I mean? And we just like, we'll toss it off to the side or whatever. How many stories have we heard from as comic book collectors when we hear like, oh, my mom had all my comic books, just threw them out.
Right.
How many times we went into Lloyd's and saw Hulk 341? Wolverine, Todd McFarlane, and there was like 20 of them on a rack, and I didn't buy one of them.
How about
if it makes you feel better, most of the ones in that bundle pack were second print.
What are you talking about?
The Hulk, the Claws Wolverine, right?
No, I'm talking about when in Lloyd's on the comic book rack when the comics will come out every month.
Oh, the comic. Well, yeah. My origin story is the Lloyd's comic book rack. I was there buying Man of Steel every freaking week. And then when I couldn't get Man of Steel number 4, I made my mother drive us down to Paramus so I could get Man of Steel number 4.
Nice. All right, so he becomes this big hot shot in the executive.
Well, how about how he becomes the hot shot is he runs into the boss running through the office because he has to make copies so they can be faxed by 5 o'clock. Not emailed. Faxed by 5 o'clock.
A little hustle. There's nothing wrong with a little hustle.
I think we ended our got rid of our fax machine just last year at my job.
Right?
We still use fax machines at my job.
We still have a fax machine at work.
Yeah,
I have my fax machine in the next room, because, someone's got to communicate with Doc Brown from Back to the Future. And, but no, seriously, the medical industry, we really do love a fax.
I do.
He becomes the vice president.
If the president dies, you get to take over.
He's like, no, it's 1,000.
It's like a couple.
He gets a gorgeous apartment loft.
Yeah.
And he basically starts becoming an adult. The lead female actress becomes his girlfriend after a hilarious want to spend the night together. He's like a sleepover,
right?
Yeah, sure. And but he eventually, was kind of weird when I was watching it again.
Still kind of controversial.
When he actually slept with her, but she doesn't know he's a kid.
Well, no, she doesn't. But
yeah,
she knows pretty soon thereafter, and still kind of okay with it. It's never like, ooh, I did something wrong here.
Yeah. No, because remember when he tried to go kiss her, she didn't kiss him. She kissed him on the forehead. She's like, you're a kid. I can't do this. But yeah, and then I love his friend coming in and just be like, it was like the only F-bomb I think in the movie. He's like, who the F do you think you are? Like, da-da-da-da.
And it was PG back
then.
PG could have an F-bomb. Imagine.
And then he called him an a-hole too in that same thing. I was like, oh wow.
But he deserved it.
He did deserve it. It still wasn't the changing grace. The changing grace was he started to miss home and he started to visit places. I mean, he even walked around his same neighborhood, which is weird because wouldn't the mom have noticed him? Because if he was walking around,
if your mother didn't see you for 20 years, she'd still recognize you.
Well, she saw him in the beginning of the movie as an adult, so if she would see him walking around.
But I'm just saying, if you saw someone from, tell me your parents wouldn't recognize you grown up. They were like, no, even if they hadn't seen you, they would know. They know that's you.
Yeah.
And the kid actually,
that's too much of a traumatic thing for a character to expect that her in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 months that she'd realize that this grown-ass man is actually her son. She's still reeling from the trauma.
No, I'm not saying no, I get that. What I'm saying is let's, for argument's sake, I'm just playing the scene out. If she's out walking the little sister and sees that guy across the street and looks at him long enough, she's gonna know it's him. Whether she recognizes it's the guy from earlier in the movie. Yeah. Gonna go, wait a second.
The movie absolutely does not deal with the trauma the parents are going through. It is. It doesn't.
They don't even show the father. You never see the father.
Yeah, you never see the father. You know he exists, but you never see him.
No,
when do you see him?
At the carnival at the beginning.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
And Tom Hanks is a good 1.5 feet taller than that guy. He's big.
Yeah.
But that's kind of funny because that's often what happens with kids. You often have the kids that are taller than you.
All 3 of mine are going to be taller than me.
So he eventually finds the machine. He makes his wish to be small again, and that's the movie.
Say bugs.
So, all right, let's get some numbers on this. We'll start off with Green Shirt Guy.
So I like this movie, and I always enjoy this movie. I was happy to watch it again. I don't think I have as much nostalgia as I thought I did in watching it this time. I still really enjoyed it. I still had a good time. Was one thing. Oh, the only thing that I did notice too, remember in the end credits where him and Billy are walking down the street with the bike and they're having a little conversation? There is zero chance that mother just lets him roam around the neighborhood after he's been gone for 6 to 7 weeks and he's just come back. No chance that happens. I'll move on though. But no, I really did enjoy it again. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
7.5. All right, see Bizzle.
I agree with everything Green Shirt guy said. It wasn't as I saw some things in there that had some nostalgia things in it, like toys and when he went to the toy store and things of that nature. But it wasn't like I wasn't in my feels. You know what I mean? So it was a good film. It's not the type of film that I would say I would watch. I might watch it like once every couple of months or something like that. If it comes up on streaming or television, whatever, and I might not be doing anything, I might have it on. But I did enjoy it. I'm gonna give it a solid 7.
7. Phil?
I actually did enjoy this, and I am going to go a little bit higher. I'm giving this movie an 8. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good, and we didn't hard talk on it, but like they kind of predicted a little bit of the future with that idea of an interactive comic book where you make like decisions and stuff. And that was about then we got things like The Walking Dead from Telltale and stuff. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie, and I'm gonna give it an 8.
8. I'm gonna go with a 9, guys. I thought this was a good movie. I thought it was paced very well. I thought it was written very well. You got little things here and there. But just the overall feel, Tom Hanks made me believe that he was a kid inside of a grown person's body. So that was great. And yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was a really good movie. I'm gonna give it a 9. Leaving us with Clifford.
Well, I'm going to start with Tom Hanks' performance. He absolutely captured the spirit of a 12-year-old boy behaving like a man. 10 out of 10. The story, the comedy, the emotional depth, the exploration of childhood versus adulthood in a very unique, non-Freaky Friday way. 9 out of 10. Iconic moments like FAO Schwartz on the piano, the Zoltar machine, and even that questionable romantic subplot. 9 out of 10. Rewatchable, still holds up. 8 out of 10. The uncomfortable romantic subplot being my major negative drawback to this film. I am giving it an 8.5, and I'm very happy I still chose this.
8.5 equals divided by 5. It gets an 8 overall.
Higher than IMDb.
Great. 8 overall. So, yeah, that's big. And next week, where is it? There it is.
I don't know.
Renaissance Man. Danny DeVito.
I've never seen this movie.
Never.
I'm glad I could choose a wild one for us just to
feel the energy flow. So intense how the energy glow. When my energy low, that's when my enemies show. I let my enemies know. Take my enemy's soul and burn my enemy's gold. Yeah, Hitchens amazing, Spider-Man villain, Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne, all the same villains. Joker's goblins, Luther's the president, Catwoman let the venom in. I'm dealing with these penguins that want me to kneel before Zod. It's a job for Castle, through roads like a war machine to find Destro's castle. Xavier schools filled with fools, teaching young boys how to misuse the powers with which we all fuse. America's frozen in ice. Wonder Woman's disappeared into the night. So Wonder Girl wanders through the years, wondering why no one can explain the tears. Causing havoc, seduced by Madeline, lost in limbo with magic. Black is like the brightest day.